I've been dreading 911 Nashville for weeks on end, and for a long time, I believed it was because I was still upset about Bobby Nash's fate in the main 911 series. After watching the first episode of 911 Nashville Season 1, I've realized that the reason I've been dreading this program is because I'm not sure whether I'm ready to put my trust in ABC once more. Even though we hadn't yet established the regulations for 911 Nashville, I didn't want to fall in love with a number of characters, only to lose them because the original 911 series had changed its rules. As I began to watch this show, I experienced that dread. However, as I watched more, I noticed that I was shrugging it off because 911 isn't 911 Nashville. And if I'm going to give it a rating, I'll do it based on nothing more than what it offered me in the pilot episode. I had no sympathy for this cast. Captain Don Hart's charming attitude about how Blue was supposed to be with them in the firehouse, straight from Hallmark, didn't affect me. Then there was Ryan, his son. His contempt for Blue abruptly joining them despite not having attended the fire academy didn't persuade me. Even Blue felt visible in that first episode with the bridal party, but I didn't care about that. If anything, I was astounded to see this young man learning on the job, the ultimate manifestation of nepotism. As if the lives of the people they were saving weren't worth having firefighters with training. As a franchise, 911 has made some incredibly poor decisions. After a billionaire is devoured by a whale in 911 Season 9 Episode 1, Hen and Athena are sent into space. That is the kind of nonsense you see in Fast and Furious. However, those are emergency nonsense. It's reckless to let a young, inexperienced man out into the field where people are genuinely entrusting their lives to you. And because of Captain Don Hart, the pilot is being reckless from the start if he wants to establish the standard for how this program will proceed. I have nothing against Blue because I work as a stripper. It's okay for people to earn their money in some way. His opening scene's writing and direction are the source of my issue. With this overbearing stripper scene in which a rude white woman blocks an Asian woman in her wheelchair using Buddy, it seems as though the show took note of the criticisms regarding the lack of diversity in 911 Nashville and decided to address it. The brave Blue, of course, will not tolerate it, so he skirts the white woman and lap dances with the girl in the wheelchair. Remember that in order to tick the diversity box, they also had to depict an effeminate gay male. What, therefore, can 911 Nashville do to promote diversity? Because I don't want anyone who reads this review to think that I'm whining about diversity after having some. Despite the fact that I'm doing precisely that. 911. Nashville has the ability to normalize LGBTQ use or POC narratives. Avoid treating it like an outsider. Normalize it and use your real POC characters, Roxy and Taylor, to develop tales. Spend the same amount of time and affection on these two as you did on Dawn, Ryan, Blythe, and Dixie. You can avoid doing two dramatic situations that shout, "See?" if you do that. We are a Despite all of my griping about 911 Nashville, I must admit that LeAnn Rimes' portrayal of Dixie Benning touched me, and this is coming from someone who didn't join my 911 life because of this domestic conflict. However, I enjoyed the acting that Rimes was providing. Dixie is controlling Blue, if Blythe's statement is to be believed. In order to achieve her goals, she is keeping her child close and using him to hurt other people. That's disgusting and cunning. Just what you want in a compelling